Life often places obstacles in our path, some small and easily overcome, others overwhelming and vast as the mountain cliffs. But the journey of 1,000 miles, even the most difficult path, begins with a single, quiet step of faith. It is the weight of these trials that tests our spirit and teaches us the value of perseverance when the way ahead is unclear. One truth remains constant through all things. Turning away from challenges never makes them disappear. It only stalls our growth. When fear is ignored, it grows stronger in the shadows of our mind, taking root where hope and light should bloom. Today's story reminds us that courage, not escape, is the true key to solving problems and finding the light that dwells within. Beyond a quiet valley, surrounded by tall cliffs and thick vines, stood a dark mountain cave, a sanctuary for a gentle soul. In that cave lived Milo the hare, known across the land for his gentle nature and his unwavering kindness toward all things. Milo was always the first to help others in need, earning the respect and love of every creature in the lush valley. One bright morning, as the sun kissed the dew-covered grass, Milo hopped out into the light in search of a humble meal. He dreamed of finding something special, perhaps a juicy turnip or a sweet root to satisfy the hunger of his long morning. Luck smiled on him that day. Milo picked up the root, his heart full of pure joy as he looked toward the rushing stream. Suddenly, the ground beneath Milo's paws gave way, and his small feet lost their balance on the treacherous, mossy stones hidden beneath the surface. He nearly fell into the cold, rushing water of the river, but in a moment of sheer instinct, he managed to cling to a sturdy, ancient forest vine. However, the precious root he had searched so long for slipped from his grasp, vanishing into the churning, white water stream below. He watched helplessly as his prize was carried away, disappearing forever beneath the foam of a roaring and powerful mountain cascade. Tired, wet, and deeply saddened by his sudden loss, Milo began the long, quiet journey back to his home, returning empty-handed and weary. But as he finally reached the mouth of his dark mountain cave, his heart skipped a beat in a sudden, cold wave of apprehension. A strange and heavy presence filled the air around the entrance, something he had never felt in his sanctuary during all his peaceful years. Milo's small body stiffened with a fear that rooted him to the spot, and with a trembling voice that barely carried through the rising wind, he called out. "Who is inside my cave?" he asked, his heart hammering against his ribs like a drum in the absolute, heavy silence of the mountainside. A long, heavy silence followed his question. The entire valley seemed to hold its breath as the gentle hare waited for a reply that felt like an eternity. Gathering what little courage he had left, Milo stood tall and shouted into the darkness once again, "Answer me, this is my home." Then a booming voice echoed from the deep, dark depths, shaking the very earth. "I am the one who shatters boulders and flattens the strongest beasts." Just then, a flash of red fur caught Milo's eye as Rex the fox passed through the quiet clearing. Desperate and trembling, Milo pleaded for the fox's help, explaining the terrifying voice that now claimed his home. Confident and proud of his own cleverness, Rex puffed out his chest and marched boldly toward the dark cave entrance. "I fear no phantom voice," the fox declared, his tail swishing with a certainty that seemed unshakable. But when the booming echo roared from the depths once more, Rex's confidence vanished like mist in the morning sun. Shaking with a fear he could not hide, the fox turned and fled into the thick vines, never once looking back. Milo was alone again, but soon after, the silent and graceful Kara the panther arrived on silent paws. She believed her strength was unmatched, and with a look of disdain, she let out a mighty, bone-chilling roar. But the cave's echo returned the sound even louder, a thunderous reply that seemed to mock her very existence. Terrified by a power that surpassed her own, the great panther disappeared into the shadows of the forest. Strength and pride had failed where a quiet spirit might have found a way. The forest fell into a heavy, uneasy silence. Once more, the valley was still, and Milo felt the weight of his loneliness pressing in upon him. The news of the mysterious intruder spread quickly through the valley, drawing the attention of Bruno the buffalo. Furious and bold, the massive beast arrived with a thunderous snort, his eyes narrowed with a fierce and stubborn determination. He did not believe in phantom voices or unseen powers, trusting only in the massive weight of his own horns and muscle. But one sharp warning from the cave's dark depths was all it took to break his spirit, sending him charging away in a blind panic. The entire valley watched in stunned silence as the buffalo's heavy hooves pounded the earth in a desperate, dusty retreat. Finally, the earth itself began to vibrate as Orin the mammoth stepped forward from the shadow of the ancient mountain cliffs. A creature of legend and unimaginable size, Orin was the eldest and strongest of all who lived in the quiet, peaceful valley. The ground trembled with each of his massive, slow steps, and his great tusks gleamed like ivory in the shifting morning light. Milo looked up with a final glimmer of hope. Surely the mighty mammoth could withstand whatever terrifying power was hiding within. But even Orin, upon hearing the terrifying roar of the echo, felt a fear he had never known in his thousands of years of life. He turned and ran with a speed that defied his great bulk, moving faster than anyone had ever seen him move before. Hope seemed lost for Milo, as even the mightiest had failed him, and the shadows of the cave grew more absolute. Then, a tiny and crystal-clear voice spoke up from among the leaves. It was Luma the lizard, looking at Milo with calm, bright eyes. "May I try?" she asked softly. Though doubtful, Milo agreed, for he had nothing left to lose but his lingering fear. One by one, the other animals returned quietly, peeking from behind the ancient trees, curious but still very much afraid. Luma approached the mouth of the cave and called out boldly into the darkness, "Who hides inside this mountain sanctuary?" The echo replied with its usual thunder, but Luma did not retreat. "Come out and face me," she challenged with unwavering courage. Inside the cave, the mysterious creature trembled. Slowly, it crawled out into the soft, welcoming morning light. To everyone's astonishment, it was nothing more than a small, shiny beetle, its tiny legs clicking softly on the cave's stone. The cave's unique walls had amplified its simple movements into a roar, turning a small beetle into a terrifying and powerful illusion. The valley erupted in a wave of laughter and relief as the animals realized the trick their own minds had played on them. From that day forward, they remembered 3 lessons. Small problems grow when ignored. Courage matters much more than size. And running away never brings solutions. So face them bravely. What helps you find the courage to face your greatest fears? Right below. I need you to subscribe. Your subscription is the fuel that keeps this channel going. Share so others can be aware. I will see you in the next video. Thank you.